Sleepy Don, also known as Don Snorleone, was crashing in the courtroom, unable to stay awake, at the same time that his Trump media stock was crashing down about 18% on Monday, falling to new lows. Many people have lost their life savings. Many people have lost so much money from this complete and utter failure. Very easy to predict this is what was going to happen. Unfortunately, we've tried to warn retail investors and anybody who would listen to us for about 2 years now since the merger between the SPAC Digital World Acquisition Company and Trump Media was announced, before it started trading as DJT recently. And of course, we've been reporting recently how Donald Trump's been making a lot of these statements on his social media saying how great and financially sound Trump Media is, which is belied by the actual financials, which show a $58 million loss in 2023, only $4.1 million in revenue in 2023, under 10 million unique visitors to Truth Social, the only asset, if you even want to call it that, that's run by Trump Media, and sometimes that's even less than that by significant amounts. On that 4.1 million in 2023 revenue, the leader of Trump Media, former MAGA Republican Congress member Devin Nunes, was paid out hundreds of thousands of dollars. So was Donald Trump's former deputy chief of staff and current campaign leader, Dan Scavino. Also, Kash Patel was given a ton of cash as well. This thing has all of the kind of hallmarks of everything Trump touches dies. Founders suing Donald Trump, Trump suing the founders, Trump suing the founder of the SPAC founder suing Trump, the SPAC founder, Patrick Orlando, saying that a Trump media director engaged in corporate espionage, everybody suing everybody. Basically, the initial major investors, the Schwarzmans, pled guilty to insider trading on 2 felony counts of insider trading, can serve up to 20 years in prison. Loans being made to Trump Media from a shady bank in an island that I never even heard of until now, or until Trump Media called Dominica, which couldn't even do business in the United States. So they had to create a family trust to bring this money into the United States, which it was reported has links to Vladimir Putin as well, and that this bank that set up the trust is known for financing porn companies. I mean, it has all of the hallmarks of Donald Trump. And so quite literally, as Trump is crashing in court, you see the stock crashing as well. And the significant decline as well comes as I think it was about 15% more shares of DJT were now kind of added to the market. And this is just so you understand, what that means when more of these shares get added. It could have a dilutive effect on existing shareholders. Now, this should not come as a surprise that these shares would be released if you understand the way special purpose acquisition companies work, and you understand the way the warrants work and how these shares could be captured and ultimately released onto the market. But I think a lot of retail investors didn't understand the implications of this very complicated or somewhat complex financial device that's basically propped up this emperor with no clothes company, this company with very little assets and very little revenue, and that has all of the problems I described right there. When you go and you looked at the disclosures that had to be made about DJT before it went public, you had a whole list that showed all of the Trump bankruptcies. And if you just pull it up right here, you'll see bankruptcy, 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 bankruptcy. The amount of bankruptcies Donald Trump has had in his life, it's almost everything he's touched has been a complete and utter failure. And then they listed all of the things that he lent his name to as well. All of these licensing deals that have become complete and utter failures. You've got Donald Trump now selling fake gold sneakers. He's out there selling Bibles. This was from over the weekend. Donald Trump was there talking about the Bible sales and how much money he's making selling Bibles. Really? Really? Here, play this clip.
He made more money from one song than anybody in the history of music. Okay? And he's doing pretty well with the Bible, too. There you go. We love the Bible.
You know, so now I've been saying this before. What I'm looking for is when the next set of lawsuits against Donald Trump is filed from the shareholders. I've followed a lot of these shareholder lawsuits against companies, especially where the heads of the companies make false or misleading statements. And as Donald Trump has posted how great the company is and all of these things, you know, you could be personally liable for the damages when you say things like that about a publicly traded company. And the damages you're on the hook for is the delta between the point where you've pumped and then when the stock decreases, where it eventually goes. And that's kind of how you determine the amount of damages. And not only Trump, but his board of directors could be potentially jointly and severally liable as well, and personally liable if there is determined that there were false or misleading statements, in my opinion. That could happen. You have some of the really strong plaintiff shareholder litigation firms out there that I think are already starting to kind of like sharks circle this company. And to me, it's a question of not if, but when we're going to see these shareholder lawsuits filed. And, you know, one of the things too, you know, it's interesting. There's a few things that I expected, but I think didn't fully appreciate the ramifications for. First, as I started this video, this whole Don Snorleone, Sleepy Don, the fact that he's like literally can't stay awake during the trial. I didn't fully appreciate that was what was going to happen at this trial. And it's just an interesting thing to watch that. You know, I think while I knew Trump Media and Digital World Acquisition Company was going to be a complete debacle and harm all of these shareholders, truthfully, I think I didn't fully appreciate the actually titanic, pun intended, like consequences on Donald Trump showing what a loser he is and how that could impact him as well, considering that he is screwing over, and he's always done this, but he's screwing over his supporters who put their life savings into him. Just how, and with all of his whining and saying, oh, it's a Democratic judge and it's a deranged special counsel and it's the Biden trials, you know, all the crap that he says, all of the lies. I can't go see Barron's graduation. I wanted to see Barron's graduation. They're depriving me from seeing it. All the BS that exists and all of that. With Trump Media, it just is so surgically reflects what a loser he is and how he's a horrible manager, how he's horribly incompetent. It's a perfect control group with all of these other variables because this thing was, you know, his building it from the ground up. And when he builds it from the ground up, he's trying to, the co-founders are saying he's trying to steal their shares. And then, as I said, the SPAC founder, who's different than the co-founders, is saying there's a corporate coup taking place and Trump suing the SPAC founder Trump. There's Delaware actions, there's Florida actions. This thing is so litigationed up, it is wild. And then who's like the independent auditor? Oh, the independent auditor is someone named B.F. Borgers, whose office looks like a bathroom rest stop that you see on the highway, who's supposed to be the auditor of a supposed to be a big company, even though we know it's not. And then you look at the auditor. The auditor has the shady history of having the PCAOB, which regulates public accountants, said that it's 100% efficiency rate. Then even the auditor says, though, that even the auditor with the 100% efficiency rate, as reported by the Financial Times from the PCAOB, says that there are substantial concerns about Trump Media's ability to exist as an ongoing operation because of its massive massive losses. You've got Trump, what in my opinion looks like violation of security laws. And it's such a microcosm of all these failures. And this is happening right as the Manhattan. With all of the trials we've been covering, I knew this would be a big deal. But again, I don't think I fully appreciated what a big deal this is, where it fits in all of this. It just so perfectly shows, again, what an absolute loser he is, how he can't run anything. And if he can't run this, how is he expected to run anything? I mean, the Republicans want to give this guy the nuclear weapons. This guy can't even stay awake. This guy can't even know you saw the video I did on Trump's speech in Pennsylvania, where he says that the Battle of Gettysburg, where like 50,000 people died, was like he calls it beautiful. And he says that Robert E. Lee's no longer in favor, like as though he was in favor. I mean, what's this guy even saying? What's this guy even talking about? Ooh. And it's all reflected here, I think, though, with just the stock absolutely tanking. What a failure. What a loser. What a weak, failing loser he is. Anyway, tell me what you think. Hit subscribe. We're on our way to 3 million. Have a great day.
Enough! Send him to the big house, not the White House. Get the new exclusive tees, mugs, and stickers right now at store.MeidasTouch.com. That's store.MeidasTouch.com.